and support all of the stuff that are being said about people, And now we have a situation whereby people are dragging each other, calling each other ugly, calling each other, body shaming each other. Oh man, all over the internet. And we have people picking sides, saying this side is alright. Someone just body shamed someone, said someone's dress looks tight on them and they don't look nice. That's Tyla saying that to Seemah. Seemah on the other side say ew to someone. And then you're like, these two people need to grow up. Sit down, discuss this thing as adults. Both of them are wrong. That is my take. Both of them are wrong. Honestly speaking, I'm really grateful for everyone that has been listening to this podcast. Welcome back to everyone that is new to the podcast. And I really appreciate the numbers. I really appreciate seeing people coming on and actually joining and listening. But the levels are make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water. Amen, 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 amen. You can tell how proud we are of Tyla, man, and for mapping out a blueprint for everyone in SA, and I believe everyone in Africa, just to make us think that it's possible to gain traction out of the country. Because if it's really difficult to get traction here in SA, especially because we are living in a country which is, using Twitter a lot, and a lot of people can bring you down on Twitter. So if you can aim for people that barely can attack you, you can make it. So congratulations to Tyla, as she becomes one of the youngest South Africans, the youngest South African to be on the Hot 100 Billboard, ranking at number 67. So definitely a round of applause to Tyla. And she is averaging around 11 million monthly listeners on Spotify. If you thought that the numbers were just small, that it was a coincidence, no. She actually is doing it. And I also looked at the music that she has on her page. I think she has only 5 songs. And that is amazing because, it's like every time she takes out a track, there's a new strategy to make her grow even more. And that is something that is amazing. It's great. It's beautiful. It means that the team that, that is on her side is working day and night to try and find out how can we make things better? How can we improve? How can we get out there? It is to encourage everyone, that is in the entertainment space to actually, do that as well. Look at the numbers, look at the stats, look at the demographics, who is actually listening and watching your stuff, and then try to cater to their needs more often, because I don't know, I feel like as soon as you drop on YouTube, and Spotify, they immediately take you outside of the African continent, and then it is up to you that you want to grow that brand out there and bring a lot of people. So I'd say do not overlook it. Do not overlook it. Try to make content that is relatable to everyone, Try to make music that is relatable to everyone. Don't just put yourself in a bottle that will just limit you to just SA and just Africa, because you're limiting your numbers. You're limiting, your chances of actually succeeding in this thing. So if you are going into the entertainment space, take this thing, learn from Tyla, learn from everyone, the major league DJs, the people that have been successful before outside of South Africa, before they were, successful inside South Africa. That is a testament, a testimony to tell you that it is possible to do it outside before you do it inside. Also, it's possible to tell you that even if someone is not appreciating you inside, you can still get appreciated outside. So that is definitely a huge achievement from Tyla. Congratulations to Tyla. I cannot overly emphasize it. Very, very, very much proud of what Tyla has achieved. Also proud of MacG, as he has recently took to Instagram to actually share a picture of him with Charlamagne, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. You're realizing that every time you're thinking the podcast has hit the roof, has hit the ceiling, there's always an expansion. Every time you think they've reached the sky, you realize that the sky is just the beginning and that there is more to go. So definitely congratulations to MacG. I am also certain that he attended the Black Coffee event, which makes him a really great person. And I hope that everyone in SA will also stand behind him, support him, be there for him. Even though, in the beginning it was a huge storm, everyone was against him, and, it's a lot of fallout he has had with a lot of people, a lot of people changed sides as soon as, things were not going out, were not going well, as soon as the world was like, ha, MacG, everyone was like, oh no, MacG, all of those things. But yeah, definitely congratulations to MacG, for all the success that she has amassed over the time she has been on the internet and in the podcast space. It is really an amazing and huge journey that he has had to go through, and I feel like he has paved the way for a lot of other podcasters that are gonna come behind him and try to do this thing. So definitely round of applause for MacG. Definitely a huge achievement. Definitely am proud. Phenduka also dropped a new song which I thought was amazing. It's sad that I just saw that I think it has a less than 5k listeners right now, plays on YouTube alone. I'm not sure about the other streaming platforms. So definitely, if you haven't checked out Phenduka's new song, why haven't you? Go ahead and listen to Phenduka's music. I feel like it's, if you like chilled music, if you just want to chill, lay back, listen to that music, that music that's going to, get you busy, working on stuff, trying to like enjoy the old, jazzy kind of like amapiano, which is like really cool, and like it's thrilling. It goes through your veins. It's a good music element. Like there's a lot of elements and a lot of production that went behind this. So definitely go check it out. It's Phenduka Anga Diago KSORSA North, but spelled with a V in between. So NVRT. The name of the song is called Lonely Nights. Beautiful, amazing song. It is 8 minutes long. And as soon as when the timestamp is like 8 minutes long, that it's going to be a really good one. Because if from Kelvin Momo, it's always going to be the good ones, So yeah, it's definitely linked to, I think it's really linked to Private School Amapiano. So if you like Private School Amapiano, you are going to like Phenduka's new track. The name of the track is Lonely Nights. Phenduka featuring Anga Diago KSORSA Not, spelled with a V. I know you're gonna love it. Go ahead and check it out. But there has been a comparison that has been going on Twitter versus, Elaine versus Tyla. People are saying, Tyla has achieved what Elaine couldn't achieve. Tyla has done more. Tyla, did, taken advantage of the opportunity she was given. Whilst on the other side, Elaine was not, was not taking that opportunity. She was not using that opportunity to gain what she could have gained. I'm like, come on. How many times do you need to kick someone? Because, Elaine, as we have discussed it so many episodes behind, we even like dedicated one episode to just Elaine and all the hate she was getting from South Africans, and all the people that were supposed to be supporting him. People were saying that, we don't relate with your music. We always like Risky. We wish you were that Elaine that came with Risky. We wish, oh my God, they really done clouded that girl's mind. And she came back, she started doing amapiano, and, I hate to see people hating on any artist, especially because an artist actually spends a lot of time working on their craft, working on their vocals, working on their instruments, working on the whole, thing, the whole movement of how these things come together to make this magical moment that you then listen to. You just see that it's 4 minutes, and then you take that 4 minutes and you're like, but then I don't like it. I don't relate to it. So she should not be making music. I'm like, come on. Just let the girl be. When are people gonna let Elaine be? No, I know that she might have had that upward shoot and maybe just went silent, but she's gonna climb. I know she has what it takes to become one of the greatest, and she is going to definitely become one of the greatest. Just for once, can we just really put a lot of effort into supporting our musical talents instead of being overly criticizing? Because a lot of people are going to say that, oh yeah, we're just giving constructive criticism, but there is no constructive criticism that is not sandwiched with good stuff. If you're going to compliment or if you're going to give criticism to someone, make sure you start with a compliment and you end with a compliment. That is how I know constructive criticism is, so that the person can take, and know that they need to improve in that space. Because if you're telling someone that they are not doing good at something, then at least highlight it. What are they good at, so that they know that it's not an attack. It's not, it's not you just hating them or anything like that, but it's you caring about them and wishing that they're successful and that they can just tweak one of those little things to become one of the greatest. So I don't know why people really, are violent against someone and then, just hide behind this thing of saying, oh, it's constructive criticism, when it's not. It really is not. I barely see any constructive criticism. When you go to Twitter, it's just negativity over negativity. People just trying to get likes whilst making sure that someone else suffers at just a cost of 100 likes. Well, yeah, you got 100 likes. The person now is doubting themselves. What did you gain from it? Because you're not even making any merchandise that you're going to make money from all these followers that love all these bad things you say about people, and then follow you for it, What have you made from that? At least if you're saying then you're making a merchandise and then you're making, whatever, build your whole empire over someone else's tears. At least you've built an empire. But if you're going to make people cry and give up on their stuff and then say, I'm just giving them constructive feedback. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Especially because now I'm starting to realize that, man, this freedom of text, freedom of social media, it's really coming at a cost of someone else's well-being. And then we go around talking about people's mental health and all of this stuff, whilst we just comfortable with saying anything that, that comes to our mind without actually thinking about it twice. And as you know where I'm about to go also. Tahi versus Seemah. Seemah, then went to a podcast and said ew to someone else and say that, why do you like this person? The person is not really that big or anything like that. Things that were not necessarily to say. They were not necessary to say. And, we have people picking sides. And then Taki as well came and said things that were not necessary to say. They were not necessary to say. We have people saying violent stuff against each other. For me, if you ask me who's wrong, I believe both of them are wrong. Both of them need to sit down, talk it out. But I realize, man, that people still have to do a lot of growing up, maybe I had looked at Seemah and thought maybe she was going to be the bigger person and she's going to be someone that acknowledges it. But I also went through the podcast and I realized that, on the podcast, there was nothing that was said. She didn't say anything. She didn't offer an apology. She didn't want to be the bigger person. It's just she then just took it too far also, because, if you start something, then you are also the one that's responsible to then try and put an end to that thing, especially if you're the one that started attacking someone. Oh, sorry, for all those that don't know what happened, So there's Nale Dimalela, and, we spoke about her in the previous episode, and she basically was told by Zeluizi that, Taki, this TikToker guy, liked her. And there was no Seemah in the equation, as you understand, as you can hear. But then Seemah, because she is part of the podcast, came out to say, ew, why? No, don't give him a chance. Oh, he's not that big. And I'm like, oh man, was that necessary though? Some of the stuff that we're saying, are they necessary? I realize that these days we barely think before we can say anything. We just say something and then we think afterwards. And then you're like, oh my God. Where are we? Everything these days is just oh, I just want to spice it up, oh, I just want to create content, and never about, the emotions, who am I hurting? Because this guy was hurt, because definitely you can tell he created a long TikTok video and he spoke about this thing, which is rightfully so. As gents, as guys, it's easy for people to say bros or guys are supposed to be strong and tough, but these things, they do get to you. If a girl says ew to you, I can assure you that your confidence is down the drain. It's never coming back up in years to come. And I don't understand why most of the times ladies, they find this thing so nice to say about a guy. They find it easy to say about a guy. I don't know. It's become so normal to say violent stuff, but it's not even now gender specific. It's like everyone just like is okay with saying anything. I blame the internet. If you ask me who to blame the most, I blame the internet and all of those people that share, like, and comment and support all of this stuff that are being said about people, And now we have a situation whereby people are dragging each other, calling each other ugly, calling each other, body shaming each other. Oh man, all over the internet. And we have people picking sides, saying this side is alright. Someone just body shamed someone, said someone's dress looks tight on them and they don't look nice. That's Taki saying that to Seemah. Seemah on the other side say ew to someone. And then you're like, these two people need to grow up. Sit down, discuss this thing as adults. Both of them are wrong. That is my take. Both of them are wrong. But I'm also going to be so harsh on Taki as well. I know he was violated, but I'm also going to be harsh because I don't believe a boo should be in a vocal, I don't know, word to word fight with a woman. I'm like, don't do that. Why are you doing that? Why? If a woman says something, we know them. They are good with words. They are never going to stop until they are the ones that are right. It's always upon us to do the right thing. And it hurts most of the times. As I'm sure the confidence of this guy, has been affected to some level, Imagine in front of a million subscribers, million possible people that can watch that thing, someone says ew to you and then goes on Instagram, makes a video on TikTok, makes a video whereby they have these huge ears that they've put them a filter with huge ears and they're mocking your ears publicly. And we have people supporting this stuff, liking this stuff, finding it funny, sharing it, Imagine these things, as soon as it's done to someone who we see as more vulnerable, we take it to heart. But when it's done every day, to people that appear as strong, and I use the word appear because we don't know what they do behind closed doors, how they feel behind closed doors. As soon as we have it said about those people, we are laughing I nearly use the A word. I'm not supposed to use those words. But why are we like this? When did we get to a point whereby there's no ubuntu? We can't really feel any pain for anyone. We can't even have any emotion for anyone. We just don't think. As Jada Pinkett also goes to say that, her and Will Smith have not been together. They have been separated for the past 7 years since 2016. Something she did not have to say. Is all I'm saying. Everything nowadays is content. It started with this whole round table, red table talk that they organized on Facebook, whereby they decided that private stuff that was supposed to be, communicated as adults together was supposed to be put out there to the world for the first time, people to hear it for the first time whilst being streamed by other people. Everything was for views and likes and shares by people that really don't care about what is going on, and we really don't care. We didn't ask Jada whether they were together with Will Smith. No one asked her. She volunteered to come online and talk about it. Then we're like, what's going on? Not everything is supposed to be content. Sure, you had a moment where you cheated with someone else. That is something you tell your husband privately, and you too work on it. Because now we are in a position whereby now you're saying, oh, by the way, we're not together. And you're like, oh man, this man then came to your red table talk and listened to you speak about how you slept with someone that was the same age as your son, but not really just the same age, but the same time they were just friends. They were friends. That's the tricky part. A friend of your son who is supposed to be your son, because a friend of your son is definitely your son. Right. It's crazy. It's crazy what is happening on this world, on the internet, what we see every day. We like these things, we share these things, we stand these people, we admire these people, we look at them, we're like, yeah, those are the people that we look up to. Yeah, they don't owe us an apology. She can do and say what she wants at the cost of Will Smith's image, reputation, everything that he has built over the years, trying to become the man that sticks out. His marriage, up until the very last. And unfortunately, the very last at this point is his reputation and who he is and who the balls he has. And now everyone is just looking at him like, oh, well, what is going on, man? What is going on? You should have maybe blinked twice to show us that you were in trouble. It's crazy. It happens. SP Diddy also is being accused by multiple people, to be involved in the shooting of Tupac. I have to say allegedly, because it's still, speculations, just people coming up with stuff, coming up, making things, we're not really sure yet what's going on. And we don't wanna sit on it, but yeah, Will Smith, 50 Cent, 50 Cent blast Diddy. And basically he speculated that there's something that might be cooking between him, and the assassination of Tupac. So if you don't know right now, what happened was that the person that actually fired shots at Tupac Shakur was actually arrested, and now there is this whole rambling around, that Diddy is allegedly and rumored to be involved in this whole thing. And some are saying that he paid $1 million for the assassination of Tupac. So definitely the story is from the Sun, the US edition. Assassin Creed, Diddy paid $1 million for Tupac Shakur's assassination. Gangster Keef D claimed before arrested for rapper's murder. The man accused of the murder of Tupac Shakur has made shock claims that hip-hop star Diddy orchestrated and paid $1 million for the assassination. Keef D, who appeared in court in Las Vegas over the killing yesterday, has claimed several times that Diddy's real name, Sean Combs, asked him to take Tupac out, and record label boss Suge Knight. And it's really sad. Representative for Diddy did not comment when asked about the allegations, but previously Combs has dismissed claims he was involved in Tupac's death as nonsense. The US Sun can reveal how the Compton gangster real name Dwayne Davis has made the allegation in his book and social media interviews, and even in a secret police interview with LAPD. Another former gangster from the era, James McDonald, previously known as Mob James, has also confirmed to the US Sun he heard rumors about Diddy and others at death row putting a price on Suge and Tupac's head, as the New York-based rap artist was terrified of the record label boss. In an exclusive interview, James, who used to work as a security enforcer for Death Row Records, said everyone had a price on their head at the time as the war between the Bad Boy Records on the East Coast and Death Row Records on the West heated up. He said Diddy was scared of Suge. New York wasn't going to come down there and try to find Suge. That wouldn't have never happened. So when it happened with Tupac, our side had to feel like, okay, we cannot just let that go. There was going back and forth, tit for tat. So I believe that it got too big for Pac and Biggie, because not one of them seen it coming. No one of them thought it was going to come that way. And like I said before, Puffy was scared of Suge. He had to put something somewhere to get Suge out the way. James, who is now reformed and helps young people live the gang life, added, a lot of guys had prices on their heads. So us being where we are from and what was going on, we had to step our game up and do the same as. So at that time, taking a life didn't matter. It didn't matter. Beating a mother didn't matter. Nothing mattered, but we did what we were supposed to do. Nonsense. That's what's titled the section of the paper. In a recording of an LAPD interview sent to the US Sun and circulated online, Keef appears to tell detectives that Diddy called a gangster associate of their called Eric Von Zip shortly after Tupac's shooting to ask if they were responsible. Kif could not be prosecuted for the claims he made to the LAPD due to legal agreements he had in place. Kif claims in the recording that when Diddy was told it was their entourage who shot Tupac, he was happy as hell. In another LAPD audio clip, Kif then claims Diddy paid the fee for the hit to Zip, who kept the money for himself. In his book Compton Street Legend, Kif claims, known then as Puffy or Puff Daddy, ordered the hit one day while they were out in New York eating pastrami sandwiches and drinking pink champagne, full of fear. Kif said Diddy told him, "I need to speak to you, big dog," and the pair went to the side to talk. He wrote in the book, "I'm able to smell and see fear." Puffy was full of fear. Kif then alleges that Diddy said, "I have a couple of problems I need to be handled. Big CEO, Suge Knight, and Pac." The gangster says he replied, "That's not a problem. We can make that happen." In the book, Kif claims Diddy had issues with Pac after he released the diss track Hit 'Em Up, saying that song made Puffy mad. FBI claims. In a more recent interview with YouTuber Vlad TV from May this year, Kif even claimed that FBI agents told him that Diddy had paid $1 million to Zip for the assassination. Asked about a rumor in gang circles that after Tupac got killed, Puffy gave Zip $1 million that was supposed to be handed over, and Zip ended up keeping it. Kif D told the interviewer that the feds say that too. Kif said, "FBI said Zip is a dirty mother. Everybody crossed you, even lawyers and your friends, everybody, he crossed your ass. It is just you do not know it. Even dudes he rode with in the cars every day." Witnesses have also spoke about Diddy's deep-rooted rivalry with Suge and Tupac in grand jury, which was held last month in Las Vegas to decide whether to charge Kif, court papers show. In a transcript of last month's grand jury, a witness who used to be a member of the South Side Crisp with Kif told jurors how animosity had started between Diddy and Tupac after Pac joined Death Row Records and told everyone that Diddy and fellow rapper Biggie Smalls were behind the attack the last time he got shot. Rap Wars. Tupac going to Death Row and telling them that Puff and Biggie and them had something to do with it when he got shot the first time. He really believed that they did it. They probably did, I don't know, Lee said. But that right there added fuel to the fire. So it was like any time that any Death Row affiliates or anybody that dealt with Death Row, if they see anybody from Bad Boy, it can go all bad, you know. He later testified that Kif had met P. Diddy through Zip and that Zip had provided the gun for the shooting of Tupac. When asked where the gang had got the gun for the Tupac shooting, he said, "Zip, one of these players that's out of New York, out of Harlem. That's actually how we met Puff. That's how we got connected with Puff, is through his drug lord. Even bigger, he was bigger than Kif, was bigger than Kif D, but out of Harlem. And he had a compartment built in his Benz and told Kif, you know, I got the pistol if you all need it." Las Vegas Metropolitan Department did not comment when asked about the Diddy claims. Representative for Diddy declined to comment. And yeah, there you have it, guys. That's just the narrative or the story behind the whole story behind P. Diddy being implicated in the death of Tupac Shakur. And if that is the case, then without a doubt, he is definitely going to go to jail. But we have to sit it out. We have to watch out. We have to see whether it plays out and see what's the story behind it. You know, if it really happened, as you've read, as we have read together right now, they were saying there were just two animosities between two camps, that is of Biggie and of Tupac. And you know, P. Diddy is saying, you know, allegedly he orchestrated, you know, with $1 million the assassination of Tupac Shakur. And that is the story from Tupac Shakur. And yeah, also we have a story of Dr. Mathew Lani, who has been trending on TikTok and has been impersonating Dr. Sanele Zingelwa, who has come out and opened against a case against Mathew Lani character for identity theft, because he came out when he was asked to prove that he is actually a doctor. He came out on a video and pulled out the badge that had Dr. S. Zingelwa, who is Dr. Sanele Zingelwa. And Dr. Sanele Zingelwa came online and was shocked at the fact that how do they have his credentials, how do they have his belongings, how do they have his things that are really personal and are more of like an identity, and it is something that is baffling as well. As we know, it's not something new, this whole corruption, this whole fake kind of qualifications. It happens everywhere, and if you ask me, I think it's even more normal than we actually think of it, because we have companies that are actually deliberately hiring people that have less qualifications for a job, because they believe they are payable, they believe that they can grow them, they believe that anything that one person can do can easily be done, but they don't think about the education that goes behind the reasoning and why people do things the way that they do them. A good example is that of an engineer. People go out there, they buy or they pay someone that is a technician to come and do a role of an engineer, or just take a random person and say, you know what, anyone can just put two bricks together and build a house. So why do we need a civil engineer to actually be there? That is something that is very common. It happens every day, and you find that they actually then go out there and make up these papers to actually support the fact that this person actually is qualified for the job, in case someone comes and reviews them and try to find out if really the people that are actually in charge of this job are actually qualified people. And now you realize that a lot of people's life is put in danger for someone who just thinks of it in money terms and not thinks about the consequences of a decision that they make. So this is something that is very much common. Dr. Mathew, Lani, is a reality we live every day. We have people being hired for a less number because they are not qualified enough for the job, and that's the kind of people that they want. I want people that can put two wires together, and if they can, then they are called the engineers, and they are given that role of an engineer without the qualification, without the proper examination and all of those things. It happens every day. It happens every day. It's us just taking these things lightly and thinking, it's not a big deal. But when it becomes a big deal, it is a huge big deal. People's lives, they are put in the line. People die out there. It's not easy. And the worst thing about Dr. Mathew Lani is that it would have been okay if he was just like playing a character of a doctor on TikTok and not doing fast track and not doing diagnosis. But he's doing diagnosis, he's doing fast track, he's actually having a product that he's saying will help people. Imagine, that is the crazy part. That is where it becomes deadly. But he will go to jail if because the story doesn't add up. And also Zingelwa came out. Wits University also came out to say we don't know anyone that's by that name that has landed in our institution. And when he also came out with the badge, Wits was still like, oh wait right there. So Dr. Sanele, whose real name is the one that is being said, okay, he's the doctor. Mathew says that are his credentials, which are not. They belong to Dr. Sanele Zingelwa. Dr. Sanele Zingelwa has said that he went to Cuba, right, to study there. And so now that is the one that is qualified for the role of a doctor. But then he is in an unfortunate, position whereby someone else is using their credential. And it happens. And I always say, man, if you're applying for a job or anything, you might have some scammers out there that just are putting fake adverts, and you will put out your CV, you'll put out your certificate there, and people are going to take it and sell it to someone else. They're going to impersonate a company and then take your certificate that you say you would have sent. Because it's very likely for people who have soft copies to then send the original soft copy, and then they take that soft copy or that original transcript, they sell them to someone else, and that person gets to say and claims that those things are theirs. And we are living in a society whereby IDs can also be bought, and if that person can create that ID, buy it, and also buy your documents, you are in trouble. You're in trouble. Someone has your credentials. Someone has your qualifications. They are qualified monetarily, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just how it is. So it's scary. Make sure you send a black and white copy. certified. Send it, as your proof that you are qualified, but do not ever send your original documents. So please, by all means, make sure you do not do that, right? Please be safe at all times. Stay safe. Don't ever put yourself in such a position. And yeah, Dr. Nandipha failed to appear in court, as she also has, stated that she was sick. She collapsed and she couldn't go to court. And she also, the lawyers also mentioned that, upon saying that the police were trying to force her to go to court, despite her citing that she could have had food poisoning. And it has people all over the place. They're wondering, is it true? Did she really have food poisoning, or this is another way of actually buying some time into the case, which I think is a valid claim. It's going to buy time into the case, and the more time is bought into the case, the more this thing is going to drag out longer, and the more it has been dragging out longer, or it's dragging out longer, the more people are going to forget about the case, the more the case will have less traction, and the more it has less traction, as Titi said on the podcast with Farify and Pop-Pops, we'll have something else that will distract us. Maybe we'll have the Box winning the World Cup, we'll have SA, Bafana winning the World Cup, which is something that would really happen. I don't think it can happen anytime soon, but yeah, we'll have something so monumental that will happen, and then we will have our focus really just shifting to that side, and we're just paying attention to that, whatever is happening right there, and we forget everything that is happening right now. And poof, gone. Dr. Nandipha out of jail, free, and it's gonna happen. I don't believe these people are gonna get arrested. I'm sorry to say it out loud, but I don't believe they're gonna do jail time. I really do not believe at this point, at the way that things are going on, at the way that charges are being dropped as they have been dropped against the other three accused, including Natasha and Thabang, right? I don't think, I think they have been proved that they've been proven that they are not guilty. No, they are not involved. I feel like it's going to happen like that, one by one. I'm not alleging that anyone is guilty, because I'm not the court of law, but I can speculate, I can look at the direction and look at it. I'm like, I don't think there's any future in this direction. I don't think anything is gonna go in any way. So yeah, it's crazy. I don't think so. And I had to say it out loud, but I have to say it. I don't think it's gonna go in that direction. I feel like I have it in my gut. I feel like soon we'll forget about this case, and no one will go to jail for anything like that. I also believe that DJ Fresh does not get the enough flowers he's supposed to get for airing artists out. I watched a recent interview where we have the legends of Kwaito, the legends of Motswako rap, right? And they were just speaking about how during those old days, they would just send their tracks, to DJ Fresh, and DJ Fresh would play it on air, and and that is how they would blow up, and that is how they would approach the game. That is how they would approach everything, when it comes to the music industry, and how to actually excel in it. And I feel like DJ Fresh is not the person that gets to be, to be said, out loud, and to be actually shouted out, for all the influence he has had in people's careers and all of those things. So definitely would have to give DJ Fresh his flowers. It's beautiful. It's amazing the work that he's doing for all these people, and may he continue to do it for all those that are yet to come. May he bring people to the Wow What a Week podcast, and have those people, their music get played, to everything. But there has been a leaked Paradise 2 track list that hints that Raquel Jones might be on the album. And as you remember, A-Reece did say that he might teach Raquel Jones how to rap, and a lot of people are divided. They're like, we cannot be waiting for one of the greatest album ever to have Raquel Jones come and rap on it. How does that make sense? I'm like, I don't know what to say, but it's very likely. It might happen. I don't know. But yeah, as I said, it is a leaked Paradise track, which doesn't look as a solid one. So I think someone just sat down, just wrote these numbers, just wrote the tracks and say this is what they think will be the album. And it might not be, it might not happen to be as it has been listed, but it's definitely there. It's available on Twitter. I don't trust Twitter. I really don't trust Twitter. But yeah, it's out there. Nicole Jones might be on the album. I do not have any resentment against it. If she's good, then I guess it's gonna be a good one. But if she's not that good, then it might not be a good idea to actually put your girlfriend in the track. But only time will tell. We'll see when we get there. It doesn't change my feelings about the project. It doesn't make me dread it. It doesn't make me feel any way. It's funny how people are moved, by it. We also had Drake dropping with J. Cole, whereby it was an amazing tune. I loved the flow from J. Cole, always amazing. He always does his thing, as we know. And on the latest developments, I've been watching the podcast Spreading Humors, and I've seen the connection between Yanda and Ziliwizi, and I just want to say, I want to see where it goes. I want to see where it goes because a lot of people are speculating that there's chemistry there, which is never really a good idea, especially if you're working together and you're really like the people that are the Beyoncés of the show, like you're there out there in the front. It's never really a good idea to then have something that you're involved in with, because if it happens like that, then it might jeopardize your work. It might jeopardize how you work on a daily basis and how you show up to your work and the effort and everything that you're putting out there. It might be affected because next thing someone just your partner does something wrong and now you're taking it from home and you bring it on air. And that's really gonna be something that's really bad. And it has also been rumored that Kabza De Small is about to get married to his sweetheart called Moropa, who happens to be a nurse. And they've been dating for a while now, and we definitely love to see it. And aside from that, Kabza De Small also trended for something bad, whereby he had a video whereby he was saying that women, especially dark-skinned women, should not put those pink makeups on their face. He further went to say on that, back then there were qualified people that used to do people's makeup, but now people do the makeup themselves. And you realize that the end product, the end result of what is happening, what comes out, is nothing really that much great. That's what he said. Those are his ways, not mine. Because, at the end of the day, people are going to get touched and they're going to get mad, and they're going to come at me and they're going to say, oh, this is something you're saying. This is something you're saying. I'm like, oh, man, I didn't say anything. I'm not even endorsing anything, but that is what happened. That is the case. That is the chart. People are mad, but I feel like to some extent, wait, hear me out. To some extent, here's a valid point. People these days, they do makeup wrongly, right? But I don't know about the skin color and all of those fights. But, this is the new era that I was talking about. We have criticism, not constructive criticism. We have people just criticizing and not constructively criticizing. He might have just like appreciated something. He definitely needed to appreciate something about black women. It would have been nice for him to say, black women are beautiful, I love you, you are amazing, beautiful. But we have some people that put makeup wrongly. But really, you guys are really beautiful. Would rather prefer you without makeup. See how beautiful that is than saying that you look like a Popeye when you're putting that. It's not constructive anymore. Do you see the difference of sandwiching something? You start by saying, black women, our sisters, you're beautiful, love you, but we have some people that are letting you down by applying makeup and colors in a way that they should not be colored, and they should not be put, mixed together. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that you guys are really beautiful. We'd rather prefer those people that are mixing those colors to not do anything to their face at all, because it affects their beauty. Do you see the difference of constructive feedback? Now that is constructive feedback, and people would have taken it, and people would have listened to it, and people would have been happy to have heard that. Other than you saying that you look ugly, then what? Why should I care that you think I am ugly? Why are you even saying it? What value is it adding? Is it important to say it? You see, there's a difference in these things, and people, the sooner we understand the difference between criticizing people and constructive criticism, the better. Because right now we are just roaming around the streets and we're saying things as they come to our mind, and we don't think about it. We're talking, if I was speaking traditional language, I'd say we're talking like we're falling from a tree. We really aren't saying something that is really adding any value. We're just talking randomly, when we shouldn't be doing that. We should not be doing that. We should learn to be cultured, learn to be nice, learn to be amazing. Also, I'm really hurt by Yanda. If there's anything, if whatever chemistry that they are saying is there between you and Zili, I really am sad, because I really love her. I don't want to lie. To me, I really love Yanda. I love her. I am actually saying it out loud. I love Yanda. But yeah, thank you so much for listening up until this far. Do not forget to stream Soul Phenduka's music. I really think it's an amazing song. Do not forget to check it out. Lonely Nights, Soul Phenduka, Angatiago, KSORSA, not spelled with a V. Definitely check it out. It's not a paid promotion. It's just me appreciating it. But also, before I go, let me appreciate Flame's music. Flame recently dropped he dropped an EP, and it had the song that I really know specifically was directed by Zuchi Cockdop. And remember, I said just yet I am yet to listen to Zuchi Cockdop, because a lot of people have been saying that Zuchi is dope. So I am not refuting that. I want to listen to Zuchi Cockdop's music. But yeah, the song that I know for sure is Flame Way Up, featuring 25K, directed by Zuchi Cockdop. And I loved it, man. I love it. I don't have any resentment against it. I like the flow. I like how chilled it is, and for me, I just want to see Flame winning. I just want to see him growing up and becoming the best. And the song the album is Note to Self. Go ahead, check it out. It's available on Apple Music. I'm sure it's available on Spotify, and definitely very much available on YouTube. So you go ahead and check it out. It's beautiful. You will love it. Seemah also released new music, so go ahead and check out Seemah's latest song. It has been trending on TikTok very much. People are really loving it. It has that vibe of I don't like that kind of style, but a lot of people love it, so we're gonna vibe for it. Also, Dali also actually dropped. That's a song by this girl Kamo Mphela. Loved her, always loved her. I feel like she did a lot for Amapiano. I feel like if we are gonna talk about Amapiano, we have to talk about Kamo Mphela. So Dali, go ahead and check it out. It's out there. And don't laugh at me for saying because it's literally what she says. I don't hear anything else except Dali. That's what I hear. So go ahead and check out Dali by Kamo Mphela, Khalil Harrison, Tyla ICU, Baby Son. I might call him Son, but it's Baby S-O-N. Beautiful. If you don't know Baby S-O-N, he's there in Kelvin Momo's album. If you loved Kelvin Momo's album, you'll like Baby S-O-N's music. So go ahead and check it out. We also have Sam Deep, who actually released an album as well. So there's a lot of plenty of good music that is out there. Also, this is the first time we might be having, or we have, Nomfudo More in an Amapiano song. I haven't listened to it, but she's there. Sam Deep featuring Nomfundo Mo, Taxi Man, and so it's definitely Sam D and Nomfundo Mo, Taxi Man featuring Sipho Makutu Lela. Let me check the name of the album for Sam Deep's music so that you go ahead and check it out as well. iMali Ye Ntwana is the name of the album. Go ahead and check it out. iMali Ye Ntwana by Sam Deep. Loved it. There's a lot. If you don't know who Sam Deep is, if you don't know that song, I don't know which rock you have been hiding in. But yeah, definitely beautiful. I loved it. That is, I believe, the releases of this week. I'm not sure who else has released, but yeah, that is. I also saw in the comment section as I was watching the latest, the latest episode of the Bantuis is, spreading humors that people are starting to speculate. Oh, Seemah looks like she's pregnant. I don't know, guys. Stop speculating. People need to sit down and wait things out. It always works out like that, because if you keep on saying stuff without waiting them out, that is when you will get these things of being sued. And I kid you not, being sued is not a nice thing. It's really not nice. But yeah, DJ Slick also had a new music that is out, whereby there is Kutsa. It's called Kutsa, featuring Younger Chief, Mahu, Too Short, and Makwa. So go ahead and check it out as well. We have beautiful stuff, beautiful. Koslubi has a new girlfriend, there's something that is going around. This one looks like she's colored, so yeah, go ahead and check their relationship out. I don't know whether she's ready for the emotional roller coaster, because there are pranks that are gonna be on Kalo. So she has to be ready for that emotional roller coaster. She has to be strong. I hope she knows the truth right now. She has had enough time to actually look at this stuff and reflect. So whatever decision that she has made right now, I believe is the right decision that she has made. So yeah. Hopefully that's gonna work out for her. We don't know. At all cost. If love is the greatest prize, then I guess you're prepared for it at all costs. If something else is the prize, I hope that you are prepared for that as well at all costs. Because hey man, it's not nice being mistreated and being pranked on the internet. So yeah, I'm not saying that he's gonna do that, but I'm saying that pranks are gonna be there. And if he's not gonna give pranks, then what is he doing? Because he has to get the bag. He is amongst the biggest pranksters in SA. So definitely people are gonna be expecting a prank from Koslubi. That is the chart. And it's gonna be that drill. It's gonna be like that. But yeah, I think basically I believe that's the end of today's episode. I really appreciated your warm company. I really appreciated having you around, and I did have a great time. I also saw a video of a cash in transit robbery, and it actually resembled. There was one drawing that was taken as a joke that was shared on TikTok, and now we have that cash in transit robbery happening the same way that someone drew it. I found that really interesting. I was like, wait, what? How is it possible that someone can draw it like this? So if you drew that, then you better know that we are coming for you. How did you know it was gonna work out like that? How did you know it was gonna work out like that? But yeah, we had a cash in transit money heist. And it's never nice when these things happen, because I think they use bombs and all of those things, and maybe some tear gases, and some all of those things that are just they're not nice. I think people really just take it as a joke, but it really should be traumatic for the person that actually is experiencing it. Imagine you're the one that is driving the truck. And I used to be scared all of the times, my previous internship, because there was this previous internship whereby I was working for a retail, and people were basically speaking about how people come to actually go and steal money at the last hours of the day. So every time when we were going through the last hours of the day, I was really scared, because I was like, we better just lock up and go as soon as possible, because hey man. And especially because if you have that car coming to pick the cash, then that's really deadly. But yeah, on Wednesday morning, a cash van was traveling on Malandela Road in Guamashu in KwaZulu-Natal when it was attacked by a group traveling in at least 2 vehicles, said police spokesman Colonel Robert Nechunda. 2 suspects overpowered 3 security guards and allegedly robbed them of their firearms before fleeing from the scene with an undisclosed amount of money. 3 security guards were injured and was treated at the scene. So when you're making those jokes about all this, let's get money, all of this stuff, remember there are people that are actually getting hurt, and that, and people whose life are in danger. It's not really to guilt trip you or anything like that, but I'm saying think before you celebrate these things. Before to you, these things are jokes. People's life are in danger. And with that said, I have enjoyed being in your presence very much. I'm also thinking of dropping episodes 2 times a week. So something like Monday and Thursday. Would that work? I believe it will work. Just to make sure that I can have these things partitioned in a way that I can really delve into deep and not really just like try and run them all up, because it looks like a lot is now happening. We are preparing for December, so a lot of stuff are gonna happen, and it's South Africa. Everything that hasn't happened yet, it has to happen before December comes. You know the truth. South Africa. It has to happen before we close off the year. So definitely I would have to now post 2 times a week. So I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. Give this this podcast a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple, as well if you're listening on Spotify. I think Spotify has reinstated us, so a round of applause to Spotify for reinstating us, and they are pushing our podcast in their platform as well. So definitely I love that. And everyone who's listening outside of these streaming platforms, please make sure that you do whatever they say there. If they're saying like if they're saying follow. And if you're listening on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to join the family and like the video so that it gets out there and gets shared with a lot of other people. And without further ado, I really appreciate it and enjoyed your time. I enjoyed being in your presence. Please make sure that you take good care of yourself, and as we start the week, may you be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, then who else will be kind to you? If you do not love you, who will love you? Of course I love you, but also make sure that you love yourself.